All right, we are back on day 11 of ACT Prep Unit 1, Pre-Algebra 1 topics. Today we're going to talk about computation with positive and negative numbers. All right, use your calculator. For TI-84, you're going to use this negative key. On some keys they have, if it's a bit more basic calculator, you've got that plus or minus. But again, I'm teaching this with a TI-84, which I strongly recommend you have for ACT. All right, addition. If the signs are the same, you add and keep the same sign. If they're different, you disregard the signs and subtract and use the sign of the number with the greater absolute value in the sum. Your calculator will take care of that for you as long as you type it in carefully. Okay? Type it the way you read it. This first one we're adding, and I'm typing it they're reading it up and down. I'm writing mine horizontally, but you type it the way you read it. 23.867 plus 173.4, and there's your answer. Okay? Fractions, so you got to be careful here when you type these negative mixed numbers. Please be careful when you type. I've got to put that negative on the outside of parentheses. Otherwise, it's going to be a -4, and you're going to add a fourth to it, which is really 3 3/4. You see what I mean? You want the whole thing to be negative. So I put a negative parentheses 4 1/4 minus parentheses 2 3/8, and you get -6.625. As a fraction is -53/8. This says it goes -6 whole times, and 0.625, math enter is 5/8. So it's -6 5/8. Okay. Different signs. Again, you're going to type it just like 2380 plus a negative is the same thing as 2380 minus 967. It's 1413. Okay. On the next one, 108.7. Again, plus a negative means minus 218.9, and you get -110.2. Okay, some subtraction. Again, type it like you read it. 1652 minus 1824 is -172. To type this one, be very careful. You want to put those in parentheses and the negative on the outside. So I have negative parentheses 6 1/3 minus a negative parentheses 2 5/6 gives you -3.5, which means -3.5 as a fraction is 1/2. Okay, when you minus a minus, that turns it positive. But again, if you're not sure, if you don't remember that rule or you get nervous, just type it in. Minus a negative, it'll take care of it for you. You get 37.26. All right, multiplication. Again, and when you multiply, the signs are the same. Your answer is positive. If you multiply or divide and the signs are the same, it's positive. If the signs are different, your answer is negative. Again, your calculator will take care of the signs as long as you type them properly. So I have 1/3 times 4/5, 0.26 repeating, math enter it, you get 4/15. Next one, I have a -4 times a -16, which is a positive 64. Decimals, again, your calculator will take care of it. Oops. I got 1.83 times a -2.06 is -3.7698. And the last one, -34 times 904 is a -30,736. Division, again, if you're dividing and the signs are the same, your answer is positive. If they're different, your answer is negative. 18 divided by 4 is 4.5. I have a -3/4 divided by a -1/8, and that gives me 6. 1.8 divided by a -30 is -0.06. And on 4, -24,745 divided by a positive 707 is a -35. Okay, you try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. And hopefully you got C. It says Alice borrowed $85 from a roommate. When she got her paycheck for $225, she paid back the loan and paid her $70 phone bill. How much money does Alice have left from her paycheck? she has a paycheck, she had to pay back the 85, and she had to pay off her telephone bill. So I'd have 225, take away 85, take away 70, leaves 75. Try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. And hopefully you got negative 32. You can do this by hand. When you do this by hand, parentheses first, but there's nothing in parentheses. There's no exponents. Multiply, divide, left to right. So negative 4 times 8 is negative 32. Bring everything else down. Left to right. Doesn't mean you multiply before you divide. It means you multiply and divide in order from left to right. So in order would be divide next. And that's going to be a positive 16. And then you do 16 times 6, 96, divided by a negative 3. 96 divided by negative 3 goes 3, 2 times. Positive divided by negative is a negative. Or, type in the calculator. Okay. It says compute. You can use your calculator. I would even if it said you can't, because you're allowed to use it on the whole test. So negative 52. Again, you could actually type plus a negative 74, but when you plus a negative, it's just like minus. So negative 52 minus 74. Notice that this one is that little gray negative key, and this one are the little white negative key, and that's the gray big minus sign. Okay, so I have 24 plus a negative 10, which is the same as 24 minus 10. I have negative 12 minus a negative 9, which makes negative 3, because this double negative turns positive. And negative 12 plus 9 is negative 3. Negative 17, notice I put the negatives on the outside. Negative parentheses 17 and 1/5 minus 6 and 2/5 is negative 23.6. If you take 0.6 and math enter it, you get 3/5, which means this is negative 23 and 3/5. Number 5, negative 61 times 23 is negative 1403. Number 6, 4.2 times a negative 4.5 is negative 18.9. Number 7, negative 71 times negative 8 is positive 568. Negative on the outside of parentheses, 4 and 1/4 times negative on the outside, 2 plus 3/8 is 10.09375. So it goes 10 whole times. 0.09375 as a fraction is 3 over 32. So my answer would be 10 and 3/32. 72 divided by negative 4 is negative 18. Okay, division. No, it's all kinds of stuff. Again, you're just typing. Negative 108 divided by negative 6 is positive 18. Negative 30 divided by 1 divided by 6 is negative 180. 12, negative 5.85 divided by 0.9 is negative 6.5. 13, 43.4 minus a negative, which is going to turn it positive and add them, gives me 179.4. Negative something plus itself is always 0. 15 touching means multiply, so I've got negative 1.4 times 3.4. 16, negative 63.7 divided by negative 0.007 is 9100. 17, 4 times a negative 2 plus 3 is negative 5. 18, negative 12 divided by 4 minus 3 times 2 is negative 9. 19, 5 minus 2 plus 7/5 is 38. And 13 times 2 minus 6 divided by negative 2 is 29. Okay, try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. And calculator makes quick work of that. You should get 200. Try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. Okay, it says all of the choices below equal -5 except. Well, if you type them all in, the first one is -5. Yep. The second one is -5. Yep. The third one is 1. So that's the one that does not equal -5. I mean, I can type the rest of them just to be sure, but they're all -5 except for that one. Try this one. Hit pause. Come back when you're ready. Hopefully you got 202. It says Lou worked for 16 hours earning $7 an hour and then worked 10 hours earning $9 an hour. So for 16 hours at $7 per hour, and then he did 10 hours at $9 for each of those hours. So that's what I want to type in, and that gives me 202. Try this one. Hit pause. Come back when you're ready. Hopefully you got -8. I just typed it all in and got -8. I put parentheses everywhere, except I didn't put parentheses right there. Try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. Hopefully you got 0. Just be very careful when you type. And that does it for day 11. So I will see you tomorrow for day 12.